Computer. All right, recording this wonderful session, this formula for the essentially sports Tai Chi push hands, going from essentially the mindful wrestling. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna say to everybody tomorrow. But essentially, this is how this is what I like to introduce to people to Tai Chi if they've never done Tai Chi before, or if they're athletes and they may not necessarily know what to expect. I love introducing this. So this kind of gives you a little bit of a lot of the things that I consider the core, the fundamentals of preparing for sports Tai Chi push hands. So the more explosive, faster, competitive stuff. So that being said, we'll start with initial posture. Imaginary string sleeps on top of the head, tailbone dropping. Whole body should feel like it's dangling. Palms facing flat down, special attention to the middle finger of each hand. Mouth closed, tongue on the ceiling of the mouth. And breathing using the base diaphragm, more specifically 3 finger lengths below your belly button. You're going to inhale with the eyes open into that point and give the sensation of breathing a color or a visualization of some form. You want to see, feel, and experience the breath as it goes down. And you want to use this color visualization as a vehicle for your attention. Gather the breath in the belly, exhale, and you see it push up, feel, see, experience. It washes down the arms. So with the willpower, you start to move the attention down the arms, the palms and fingertips, pushing that color out. Inhale into the belly. Exhale, wash the color down. Let's repeat this a few times. And as you do it, to help yourself settle into it, any place you might feel extra tension in the body, do your best to move the attention there just for a moment and get the sensation of releasing. You can even push the color into that area, exhaling, and moving it into wherever you have tension. And the intent woven into the color is to melt away the tension, soften. This is called gilded pillar. Inhale deep, exhale, drop the hands down. Inhaling up. Exhale, wash the color out with the palms and fingertips. Inhaling up. Interlace, exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Again, inhaling up. This time, even deeper inhalation. Strengthen the color, pulling in through the fingertips into the belly. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Looking up, stretching onto the toes, and exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhale, wash it out. Inhaling 1. Even deeper 2. Even deeper 3. 3-stage inhalation. And exhaling out. Inhaling up. Even deeper 4-stage inhalation. Even deeper. Even deeper. 1 big breath, 4 parts. Exhaling down. The exhalation is just as long as the inhalation, if not longer. And widen the stance. Sometimes during combinations, you need to use 1 breath for multiple moves. You want to be able to give each move its own part of the breath very intentionally. Inhale to the belly, tailbone dropping down, imaginary string lifts you up. Exhaling, this is called elephant swings its head. Inhale, breath pushes to the side and up, eyes on the belly button. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Weight stays on the heels, knees stay bent. And reverse it. Inhaling up, eyes on the belly button. Exhaling down. 2 more. Drop the arms. Inhale, breath lifts the wrists, wrist lift the body. Exhale, wash out. Inhale, draw the breath in. Exhale, hands float down. Now we're going to do the first neck gong exercise, which is like weightlifting for intention. Inhaling up. Exhale, wash the color to the palms of the fingertips. Inhale, gather, hollow fist, drawing the color into the belly. And exhaling, pelvis rotates on the femur. Eyes looking straight down. Elbows are nearly in front of the eyes. Chest parallel to the ground. Knees remain bent. Straight line from the top of the head to the tailbone. Tailbone is pulled to the wall behind you. The top of the head is pulled to the wall in front of you. Inhaling into the belly. Weight stays on the heels. And exhale, wash the color down the legs. Inhale into the belly. Exhale, wash the lungs. Inhale into the belly. Exhale down the arms and palms and fingertips. Inhale into the belly. And exhale, wash the color wherever you want to gain strength in the body. And inhale, open the hands in front of you, and exhale, reaching through the legs, straight back, uncrossing the arms. And make sure to reestablish the posture. Keep the legs bent, sink lower if you need to. If you're shaking, and lift the collarbone if your back is bent at all. Inhale to the belly. Exhale. Spread the color this time to the whole body. Scanning the body. Inhale deep. Exhale, spread the whole body. Look for any tension, dark patches you might see with the mind's eye. Any cold areas of the body. Inhale. Deep exhale. Let the color soften the tension. Melt away the tension. Bring color to the dark patches and warmth to any area that's cold. Inhale deep. Exhale, spread the whole body. One more breath. Exhale the whole body, drop the hands down. Inhale, breath lifts the wrists, wrist lift the body. Exhaling out. Inhale, draw in. Exhale, shift to one side. Whatever leg you choose to shift to, the opposite leg is going to come out with the opposite arm, corresponding hand. We're going to look at the palm like a mirror. One foot is forward so that you can keep all the weight on the back leg. Only the heel touches that front. And you're going to exhale and show the mirror shifting to your front leg. When you shift to the front, you're in an A-frame, nose over the knee, knee over the big toe. Straight line from the top of the head to the tailbone, meaning that the chin slightly tucks in. Your eyes will be looking upward rather than straight ahead, because otherwise you flex the back of the neck, which inherently takes the straightness out of the spine. You want to go for as straight as the spine as possible, conceptually straight. Inhale, scoop with the hand and use the hip and elbow at the same time, the waist. Inhale, drawing in, sinking back. Even deeper, looking at the palm like a mirror. Exhale, show it, and go forward again. Inhale, scoop. Even deeper. Exhale, show it. Exhale. Inhale, scooping in. So this exercise can be done on its own. And it's also the first exercise for push hands. And start off. Then you want to sink back and really allow the pressure for the opponent to help you sit. You want to sit straight back down, keep your back aligned as you do so. And then we'll switch legs. Love to do it with you, Mark.
One day.
And switch legs to the other side. Opposite hand and foot come out. Exhale, show the mirror. Inhale, scoop. Even deeper. Exhale. Inhale, scoop. Even deeper. Yeah, scoop. Yeah, draw and scoop. And the same thing in terms of the push hands, the most basic push hands drill. See what we got going on next. Okay, from here, switch legs. And bring the other 1 foot forward, and this time shift your weight onto it, like a front stance, into a front stance. 70% of the weight forward, very traditional Yang style front stance, meaning that the back hip collapses, or should I say the difference in this than from the traditional style is that rather than the hips and shoulders being square, you're going to collapse into the lead groin. So the back hip will melt into that lead groin. The kneecap will fall as well, and you'll have the nose over the knee over the big toe. By nature of you going for that alignment, that nose, knee, big toe, that means that you inherently have to let the pelvis rotate on the femur a bit, and even potentially even curve the spine slightly to wind in and to slightly gently coil into that position. So you'll feel the gentle coil in, and the hands will be up. Mark, if you were here in person, I think you might have done this with me before in person, but essentially this is the rooting drill. And you're going to inhale. If an opponent was pressing on you, you would inhale and you would spread their elbows out. And I cannot physically do the proper position, so I can't teach you the way William Chen taught it, which is lifting the elbows out because I have scar tissue on my wrists. So I actually do it what would be called the improper way, which uses more bicep strength. But inherently, you're supposed to, which inherently causes some tension, which is fine. I work it all out. But essentially, you want to inhale and spread the wings like a bird on that, with all the weight 70% forward, and then exhale, collapse. The inhalation mimics your posture of when somebody will press you. And then the exhalation is when they stop the press. And for Autumn was doing this on, this is part of the reason I'm so tired today. It's because Autumn was doing this on me yesterday. And so a little tired, but she's gonna press, and when she presses, go for whatever you want. I inhale, and I'm spreading her arms out, and I'm waiting for her to relax. And when she relaxes, I relax. But when she goes, it's essentially just like the Tai Chi classics. When the opponent doesn't move, you don't move. When the opponent moves, you move first. So you want to be listening. It's a rooting drill, it's a listening drill, and push, and push. So you can train this on your own just by having the, thank you. Inhaling up, exhaling down, inhale, expanding out, exhaling down. Come on, do it right. Press on me.
If you're collapsing into your groin on the foot, like this one, the back heel, like if I'm leaning, like the back heel kind of wants to go up. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
how do I prevent that?
So sometimes you lift it up.
Okay.
But for the nature of this exercise, you don't lift it up.
Okay.
So for the drill, you want to practice being clamped into the ground. And so for you, you'd actually just widen your, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then drop even more in. Great. And go for it. So Mark, just as a note too, what this is, it's called a rooting drill, but what it really is a pressure circuit. So you're actually breaking your opponent's pressure at 3 points. One is at the wrists, and even though this is not the first place is here, but you're rolling your shoulders, getting the shoulder blades to disappear into the upper back. So you're rolling the shoulders forward. So when you do the exercise, you really want to inhale when you're here, you want to inhale and lift, make sure the shoulder blades disappear into the upper back. So it's not just out like the judo exercise that we do, but it's in, and there's a slight collapse. So your wings are going up, but the shoulders are coming forward, and they're not lifting up, they're coming forward. So that it's called a crimp, and it takes the opponent's hand. And anytime you're wrestling, this is kind of I don't know if it's a Tai Chi thing, but it's definitely we came across it with our grappling techniques, is essentially you lean into the joint of the opponent. So when you lean on the joints, some of the more traditional arts will clamp the hand on and then turn it into some sort of like chin na lock or throw, aikido, etc. But for Tai Chi, we do it just for the moment to make them uncomfortable. So you get them uncomfortable here, and that helps to break the pressure. It also makes them want to leave. So that's part of what breaks the pressure. The other side, second place you're breaking pressure is right here, which is that lift, which I can't do properly, but essentially lifting the arms outward. So you're spreading the pressure. And the third part is just by your posture itself. The posture creates essentially your structure brings all of your pressure forward and pushes it back into their back heel. So when she's pressing me, I should be able to feel her back heel and then turn her on the back heel. So like you want to be able to listen so clearly that you can turn somebody on their back heel. And so press on you. It's like relax your hip and your knee. So relax the hip.
So to Autumn's point, right there, when you're right there pushing back, to Autumn's point about sinking into the groin in the front leg and then the back foot heel coming off, is most of your weight spiraling into that front hip, or you're not pushing off the back leg mostly?
For her or for me?
You, well, or either of you, when Andra's trying to push you and you're just trying to stay rooted, is the weight of your rooting sinking into your front hip and mostly on the front leg, or is it pushing off the back foot and leg? I don't think it's that, right?
So it especially if I'm not warmed up, I'll feel it on my back leg. So, and that's always, in my experience, dangerous. So the second I feel it on my back leg, I know I have to fight to get, I have to really drill down on my focus to bring my mind back to the front leg and to soften the groin. So the second I start feeling pressure on my back heel, because I can feel it on her back heel, that means I can.
Right.
So the second I feel it on my back heel, that means I'm getting compromised. My claiming of space, she's eating my space. So the space that I want to claim is 70% on the front leg. And it's really it's body mechanics, but then it's body mechanics powered by willpower. So I'm inhaling, and you can inhale and claim the space, but when you exhale, of course you're giving up because of the nature of your lungs. So if I'm inhaling, I'm taking space. When I exhale, I actually sink lower into it.
I see.
So I actually I settle into the space when I exhale, and I eat it when I inhale. So I inhale, take the space, exhale, settle in. Inhale, take more space, exhale, settle in, until I feel totally, and these are moments that you do in grappling that happen in a fraction of a second, but the whole thing is like the person's touching a wall for that fraction of a second. So if you know in that fraction of a second, they're gonna feel like, oh, I don't know what to do next, but you know what to do, that's when you make your move. So it's essentially like,
all right, got it.
Okay, so we'll spend more time on rooting tomorrow. And so what we'll do tomorrow is freestyle push hands. And Mark, how often do you freestyle? How often do you shadow box? So I highly recommend, like shadow boxing is a super important exercise. And I didn't understand the power of it until one of my coaches and choreographers really taught me about how he would visualize a partner that he would be playing with the entire time. So push hands, I think it's super important to shadow box, especially if you're we're going to do some freestyle push hands, but even for just moving around and really feeling like you're moving someone out of the way and stepping around them, taking space, like all these little moments, and really bringing, needle at the bottom of the sea is also a really vicious throw. It's like these, so being able.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that's what you meant by. I mean, when I do my set, I imagine somebody there. So.
I don't mean necessarily your set, your form, which is great too, but I mean a complete freestyle. So in other words, you're going against an opponent that is going to throw random moves at you, and you're going to respond and then to those random moves.
Oh no, okay.
So
I've not done.
let's trying that now. Let's all try that. So essentially, and then we'll move into some freestyle push hands. But essentially, this would be the equivalent. I think this is a great substitute for Zoom. Is essentially slowing yourself down, feeling like you're moving with somebody, and even step. Really be mindful of the steps, of where your weight goes with those steps, and how it feels. Being able to really feel how it feels to move freely, but as that Tai Chi, with the Tai Chi principles. No, this is for Zoom.
Oh, okay.
But like, yeah, what you guys will do is just freestyle push.
Yeah.
So the freestyle push is.
The Taiwanese style?
No, big step.
Oh.
So you just, whoever moves their foot first, only playing from collarbone to hip. So we're just doing just anything you guys are doing, and just playing collarbone to hip, and just try to push each other off. Try to keep the. If you feel yourself moving too fast, like really slow yourself down, because like you want to be super sensitive too. So especially you want to be able to deal with the pressure as it comes in and make different choices. If you feel like I'm breaking your pressure here, you should probably start shifting the weight forward, and not lifting your leg, but shifting forward. Here, you two guys go. Mark, I'll do this with you for a second though, because this is super interesting.
Yeah, like however you want to grab me. We're not doing the circling one, right?
No, just
Yeah.
This is often how I just in general, the way that Keith would instruct us to like the Tai Chi sparring stance, and this is how we got recruited onto the team with Josh, was this, which is essentially very similar to the grappler coming in like this that we were talking about yesterday, except elbow is very relaxed, and you're essentially mid-level, because you know that you're going to be, your hands are essentially aiming towards your opponent's elbows. And the opponent probably doesn't know that, because they probably haven't been trained to protect the elbows. So it's a great little position, because it seems so passive, but it's actually like incredibly effective. So you said, like, if I wanted to play long distance, especially, I'll play from here and very much use this move a lot, just in terms of my transition. So almost all my steps are here. I'm transitioning, making sure that my lead hand, lead leg, and only time I switch up, is when I really want somebody to feel like I'm doing something. When I really want to lure somebody in, so I might switch up for a second. Right now, I have my right leg forward and my left hand forward, but I'm really just trying to set up a diagonal flying throw. So okay. So.
And that way you can get me off balance. So like if I'm.
And really focusing on loading those big pushes too, because sometimes you get right inside the opponent, both of their arms, and inhaling up. And when I do this, I actually lift my back heel for the purpose of like the freestyle sparring. My back heel comes off the ground, and then I drop back in. Really, really going all the way up and dropping down. Because when you launch, you're going to throw so much pressure 45 degrees up to the ceiling, right into the corner. You're gonna throw so much pressure upward. You're gonna dig down your own hips and then launch up. And this is where the concept of the bouncing ball comes in from here. You're really going to drop down and bounce up. So, and sometimes you'll even pull the opponent's shoulders down for a second, just like we were talking about yesterday. You'll slap you'll kind of drop and tug on it just for a moment and then release. So the opponent pulls up, and as they pull up, then you push. So it's a nice little top boom.
He's just pushing me like back.
Okay, let's see what else we got.
Try over here.
So slow freestyle warm-ups.
Then I'm here. And then I'm on my
Okay, runs, crawls, and jumps. All right, so the next part.
Done.
What's going on with you guys? Let me see you guys. Real quick.
I was trying to get her to knock me over.
Okay. Here, let Mark watch this. Let's check this out. Okay. Oh, you're doing the rig.
No.
Okay, cool.
She just hurt.
Okay, cool.
I was trying to get her a more diversified approach.
But I cannot, because I was telling her I'm not used to touching people, so I'm like, I don't know how to enter into that space.
So think about, first and foremost, like the T on your opponent going through the spine, through the shoulders, and think about turning their body like on that T, turning that T. And notice how when you turn the T, look at the hips and then where the center of gravity goes. So you can bend somebody over their own center of gravity. So when you think about your pushes, you really want to think about how quickly you can get to making that person step. Because this is a game that's really about you maintaining your balance and that person being disrupted and not thrown on the floor. When you get so focused on like the specifics of the goal, saying I want to throw the person down or I want to put them down there, then you start to gather more tension in your body. But if you just know that, hey, you know what? I'm going to move this person off of there. I wasn't even prepared. This is great because essentially, like, and look at my feet. My feet are super small, and so I'm in a position where I got to figure this out. So I want to get her to step as soon as possible. So, yeah, I like, turn, push, pull.
That team, no?
Yeah, just really think about the T and how, and really, and when I say think about it, I mean visualize that T and see it turn. You can even set up, Mark, this is super interesting too, like the concept of pushing one shoulder or pushing the other one, specifically to get pushing one shoulder to get the other one exposed.
Gonna do what with it?
Oh, well, essentially you would get one shoulder exposed and then maybe come here and lift that shoulder over the other one. As a push, you might push here, open the arm, and then swing under to do something similar again, or to step behind. There's all these different moments. So, but yeah, just the T on the chest is a major component. The next one we would do in the gym is really just getting the blood flowing. So let's just do 10 jumping jacks. How about that? That would be great. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Not jumping jacks. Let's do 10 kicks on each side, slapping the foot. Inhale to the belly. See the color in your belly, and we'll just kick. 1, 2. Switch. 1, 2, 3. 10. Good stuff. And let's just hold a plank we'll crawl tomorrow, but let's hold a plank for a minute.
For a second. I was hoping you weren't gonna do crawling tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll probably do some crawling. Maybe, it depends on how many people are in the space.
You can let people quiet.
Okay, pull it up. And 2 uplifting heavens. Just gather the breath right away. What do we have next? We have, yeah, drill. Okay, so now I recommend, Mark, I'm gonna bring this computer on the floor so you can see the break fall stuff. And we won't do break falls, but you can do this on your rug, which is simply, can you see? There we go. So just gonna bring this here. And you can just sit and just roll back and forward. So from the side, roll it back and forward. Trying to keep the body, the knees bent, and really feel like you're massaging into the back when you lean back. So the ground should feel like your friend. Lean back as much as you can. Coming up and making sure the chin stays tucked. That your chin stays tucked into your collarbone as you go back. Because anytime you fall, of course, you want to make sure that your head is tucked in so your head doesn't hit the concrete or the hard floor when you go back. So the second you go back, the chin always tucks in and come right back up. Tuck it in. Good. And we'll do 10 of them. Punch it down with 10. So another one that's really fun, and I'm not even going to use the mat for this one, is fortunately Jet mopped this morning, so it's good times. Is just rolling. We can just do side to side. You can just sit to one side, lay down, sit up, other side, lay down, sit up, and just do your best to gently drop yourself in and sit up. Gently drop yourself, sit up. Feel free to use your leg to kick yourself back up. All right. So now, always want to warm up the back before we start doing the essentially the more intense stuff. Let's say move of the day. Okay. So next we have the move of the day. So, Mark, this is going to be, you've probably seen this before, but this is the, and really uplifting heaven twice, stretch the back. Mark, I am so sore. I should have been doing rooting drills. I'm not sure if I said this yesterday, but I should have been doing rooting drills with Autumn and Andra for the last 8 months, but I neglected it, like 10 months. I neglected doing it for whatever reason. No. Yeah, like I didn't prioritize it the way I should have. And I just started doing it this past week, and it works your intercostal muscles so intensely underneath the rib cage that, you know, I normally feel like I'm like I don't want to say pass out, but I always feel like that internal soreness that feels like I just need to be in bed and sleeping. And so totally my fault. I'll be fine by tomorrow. I need to eat a lot today, a lot more. But so more rooting drills. But what we'll do today is the arm drag. So you've seen the arm drag, and we've been doing this, working on this all week. But this one, this is really the big key. And I think you guys should run this, and me and Mark will run the other one. But essentially, Andra, can you stay right here so you can see? So essentially, Mark, this little wave, these 3 fingers are catching the wrist, or should I say, my wrist, it's wrist to wrist, but these 3 fingers are leading my spinning wrist. So I'm going to spin her arm down to my hips. I'm just rotating, and there has to be some speed here, because now we're getting away from the Tai Chi agreements. And when I say the Tai Chi agreements, every form of martial art, whether it's judo, jujitsu, etc., has agreements that are unspoken, and those agreements aren't even necessarily the rules. They're just things that people do as that are considered common. I've actually noticed it in every industry too, and it's when people go against those and break those are the people that really rise above the rest in terms of, for whatever reason, for better or for worse. So the agreement in Tai Chi, of course, moving slow, we're gonna break that now, and you're gonna blast the person's arm right past your hip. And we were doing this before, where you're spinning it down toward the hip. So you actually really want to cross the hip and spin right down. And just to check the other side, like Autumn's being very relaxed on her arm, which is fantastic, because if you have a very stiff opponent, then you're likely not going to be able to make it work. So when you're working with a partner, the person should have an agreement that you're relaxed, but not necessarily sticking. Like the arm doesn't, it shouldn't be dead weight and it shouldn't be too stiff. You're essentially giving somebody something to move. And so you want to spin it as fast as you can, because when you're playing live, play live for a second. When you're playing live, I don't know where she's coming from. I got to do it super quick. So like, and yeah, so essentially, we're going to spin it and just, Andre, you want to step in?
Sure. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, why don't you feel on? I'll do it to you first, and then we go. So spin.
now to relax?
No, this is great. So now you go for it. And when you do this, Mark, just in general, when you're doing this with people, you always want to make sure that the drill itself is shoulder length apart and parallel, so that you can get the core mechanics down. I think a lot of times that when you
Do I need to push here?
yeah, you're going to take these three fingers and thumb, and you're going to spin my hand towards your hip. So you're gonna, as if you're trying to throw my arm that way with the spin. Good stuff.
Yeah, but I know you have your hands with the cartilage or something. So.
Oh no, don't worry about it. Okay, cool. So let me see you two guys go for it. So Mark, in William Chen's form too, right here, where we go bird's tail here and across, I really feel like this across motion has the spin in it, right here, this top one. It's the closest thing in the form that I feel like I get to practicing this move. And eventually we'll have Rami, my martial arts buddy / our investor, has asked for a sports Tai Chi form. And he shot a first iteration of it 2 years ago that I worked on. So it's not fully there yet, but essentially it combines like the William Chen's form with the Loha Bafa, with the Wu style stuff, but only the stuff that applies specifically to the sport. But still need more time to work on that. So for now, the only move that I really feel like in William Chen's form has this motion is that spreading across. And the reason is because it's going from shoulder to hip. That shoulder to hip moment where you're here, going back and shoulder to hip. Sure.
So when I'm flicking, how long am I supposed to maintain contact? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when is my arm supposed to break apart of the flick? Like, you know?
That's a great question. So I'd say that it's kind of like a baseball, and so we often use the analogy of throwing a baseball and putting spin on the ball. Okay. So you want to throw the ball here, and however long you can stick to the arm, and then intentionally let go of it to get it to go past your hip. You're past your opposite hip. Move of the day, sparring, and cool down. Okay, cool. So of course, once you guys do this on each side, let's say 5, 10 times each, then you're going to start adding part 2, which is the reach behind the tricep. Can you show that?
I never drilled that in like a year.
Okay, so it's 1, 2. So you're really reaching as deep as you can. And so 1, 2. And my other hand, Mark, as we talked about before, stays right here to create this barrier. In wrestling, they would hold it. We're just going to keep it open to create the barrier because we want to be able to transition behind as fast as possible, if that's what we're
So the opposite hand reaches.
So the opposite, yeah, the opposite hand reaches across. Why don't you guys go for it? Okay, so one.
I think so. Is it over or under? You're going to reach from under.
Under. Yeah, it's under. Yeah. And Mark, so I think I might have showed you this before, but essentially, can you guys back up a little way to that? So I just want to show this to Mark. Thank you. So, Mei Ying Chen, who's Tons Ton's sister, she showed us and we have it on video. You can actually check the Push Hands channel. She's on it, showing it to me and Dad and my first choreographer, the Muay Thai champ, is their arm drag drill. So their arm drag drill is 1. So hand down, 1. Yep. Step 2. So you step back. So it's 1, step 2, and then it's 3 and 3. Eyes on the hand is turning and push. So 3, push. Yep. So if I'm doing it from this side, 1, step 2, 3. Yep. And they'll just do that in a line drill, and they'll do it pretty much at that speed. So they'll go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and they'll do this up and down their farm's airplane hangar style kind of space where they have their school. So the interesting thing about this drill, and I won't show this tomorrow, but the interesting thing about this drill is that she showed us, and her father, who's Grandmaster Chen's brother, is very, they do their drills very, very quickly. And so their Tai Chi drills are like that. That being said, there's all these small moments in here. The 1, the 2, eye in the mirror. This is actually behind an underhook on the arm. Actually, let me show on arm. So essentially, this drill, we play do it together. You slap down, pick up 1, you step 2, which makes the person step on the first step. And a lot of times, this is all you'll get live. When I say live, I mean in sparring. So unless you're super strong at this technique, you probably won't get the person to step over here to this area with the drag itself. So that means that this hand becomes even more important, and they show the importance to connect when that person takes that first step. This backhand, the bottom hand, starts to ride their scapula. So essentially, the second they take that step, this hand connects and rides and then throws them and launches them in the direction they're originally stepping. So it's a really, really great drill. We're 1, 2. So this hand, look at the mirror, show the mirror. You're still doing, if I was to do it with one hand, I have this, I'm looking at the mirror, stepping, and I'm showing the mirror. So I still get that turn by nature of doing this. I get that wonderful mechanic on the back of her shoulder. But it's the other hand that rides up the body and throws. So you release that turn and you throw out. And that's like, that to me is one of the coolest, to see them pull that off, especially to see her, she'll throw women like 7 feet, like with all these different techniques, and to see her like pull it off like a slingshot, it's pretty amazing. So, so yeah, there's that. And after drilling this, the only thing that's left is sparring, cool down, qigong and stretching, and meditation with the magnetic light and gratitude. All right, and some gratitude. This is gonna be great. Okay, so let's stretch a bit. No, I'm not gonna spar it. Inhaling up, even deeper.
You said you're gonna do a light, so you want me to do it.
Yep, it's pretty light. This is good. 2 feet together. Hanging up. Fingers back, chest up, hips forward, weight on the toes, exhale, butt back, fingers down. Softly. Exhale, push out. Inhale, draw in. Belly, white leg. Step 1 foot forward. Exhale, wash down. Grab the toe, stay down there, inhale deep. Exhale, pull the knee deeper, try to kiss the toe. Inhale it up. Switch legs. Into the belly, white leg. Exhale, push it down. Grab the toe, stay there, inhale deep. Exhale in deeper, try to kiss, pull. Try to kiss your toes and pull them in deeper. Inhaling up, switch legs 90 degrees, 45 degrees. Into the belly. Exhale, wash it down. Grab the toes and hold. Inhale deep. Exhale to the toe. Inhaling up. Switch legs. Into the belly. 45 degrees. Exhaling down. Hold. Inhale deep. Exhale. Kissing the toes. Inhaling up. 90 degrees. This time, whatever foot is out 90 degrees, corresponding hand, fingers touch the temple, eyes look up to the ceiling, hand on the small of the back of the opposite side. Exhaling down, the weight of the elbow bring you down. Elbow should touch the thigh or the knee or the shin, eyes on the ceiling, inhaling up. Oops. Inhaling and exhale, drop the inside hand to the toe and hold. Inhale deep, exhale, pull yourself in, inhale up to the ceiling. And exhale, lower, let the arm just drop over the head, but keeping the eyes on the ceiling. Nothing should come between the eyes and the ceiling. Reach the fingers to the toes. Try to touch them, inhale deep. Exhale, pull yourself in, feel the stretch on the rib cage and obliques, inhaling up. And switch sides. Exhaling as you sit. Inhale, eyes to the ceiling. Exhaling down, elbow brings you down. Elbow to the thigh or knee or the shin. Inhale deep, eyes on the ceiling. Exhale, hand falls. Grab the toes. Inhale, other hand reaches to the ceiling. Exhale, falls over the head. Keep space between the eyes and the ceiling free. Inhale deep, feel the rib cage expand. Exhale, pull yourself down even more. Inhaling up. And now, right or whatever foot that was out stays out. The same hand goes up, and now that foot goes behind your leg. So your feet are going to cross, but behind, one foot behind the other, and the feet are right next to each other. So you're standing with both feet crossed. One hand, whatever foot is behind, same hands in the air. Inhale deep. Exhale, keep the legs straight as you go down. Inhale deep. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale, switch sides. So you switch one. Inhale. The hand that's going up is the leg that's going behind. And then tuck that leg in so that both feet are right next to each other. Inhale deep. Really reach through the obliques, through the rib cage, all the way to the ceiling. And do your best to keep the spine straight at the same time, and exhale. Pelvis rotate on the femur. Weight shifts to the heels. Inhale deep. Exhale, drop and soften the neck and the chin area, so really bend over. Inhaling up. Both hands above the head, white line in the belly. Exhale down. Inhaling up onto the toes, the right side, exhaling down. Inhaling up, turn to the left side. Down. Inhaling, bring the hands behind the back, exhaling down. Wash the white leg down, slide it up. Off the inside of the arm, down the left side, off the inside, and the outside. Hold the shoulders, and the back. fingertips. Two more. Put the hands together. And round chest. Tap it around. Massage. Floating ribs up. Side. Sternum. Other side of the collarbone. Opening the hands. Again, really get heat on the hands. And go up on the face, to the side, up, to the side, up, side, up, over, down, under the ears. To the scalp, front to back, back to front, front to back, front to side. Slapping. Palm of the fist, gentle banging. Grab the scalp, knees, let go. And reverse it. Four fingers to the top of the head, forehead, and then reverse it. Temples, reverse it. Under the eyes, reverse it. To the heart, switch. Nails in the groove of the bone, between the eyeball and the bone, tapping around. One circle, second circle bigger. Third circle biggest. Middle finger on the eyebrows. Bridge of the nose, side, nostrils, above and below. Switch. Side gums and top, bottom, tongue. Reverse. Hook under the chin. 1, 2, 3. Other side. Ears to sleep. Flick the fingers out. Thumbs. And press and hold. And drill. Tap around. Top and bottom. Sides. Top and bottom. Sides. Top and bottom. Sides. And other side, press and hold. And drill. Tap around. Top and bottom. Sides. Top and bottom. Sides. Top and bottom. And then 1, 2, 3, and grab one. Close the eyes, inhale, right leg. Spread the whole body. Inhale, right leg at the front of the body. Exhale, roll down the back. Inhale, right leg to the left side. Exhale, roll down the right. Inhale, right leg to the belly. Exhale, push it to the top of the head like a fountain. Surround the body like a big bubble. Inhale, right leg to the belly. Exhale, push it down the legs into the ground and come back up and around. The fountain in reverse. A bigger bubble on the belly. Inhale deep. And have gratitude for the body, the space you're in, the people in your life. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Thank you so much for helping me run over this.
Thank you, guys. That was great. You guys are going to have a great time tomorrow.
Oh, thanks, man. We're gonna miss